Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach and lash educator and social media manager. I'm like, I should probably add that title because I do a lot of that these days. So welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being so patient with me this year with episodes. It has honestly been a wild year for me. I just feel like I am just trying to keep up. I feel like the metaphor I keep using is that I'm like on this surfboard in the ocean and just trying to like not get knocked out by every single wave. So it's been a good thing. There's been a lot of good happening, but there's also been a lot of hard happening. So for this episode, I haven't done a solo episode in a while. I mean, I guess my last one was, but it was more about Lash Biz Babes conference, which was amazing, by the way. We had just the best weekend together. So happy with how that went over. But I haven't had just like a solo episode where we just kind of like talk and chat and like catch up and like give each other some advice. I mean, so that's kind of what I wanted this episode to be. So it's going to be a little bit of a life update, just because we're 6 months into this year. Holy crap, we're 6 months into the year. So I wanted to kind of do a little bit of a life update, where we're at, how things are going. And then I thought we would talk about like what's actually working on social media right now, because I do obviously a lot of social media management now, and we are posting like upwards of 100 times or more per week. If it's not us posting it, it's our clients posting it, but we're creating that much content every single week. So we're seeing a lot of data of what's working, what's not working, what's getting good engagement, what's not getting good engagement, what's converting into like bookings, what's converting into page clicks, website clicks, things like that. So I thought I would share just some of like what's working well, some tips, some tricks, some advice, some guidance, and just really insight and some of this data that we're getting back of like the content that's doing well. So I thought that would be a good way to, I don't know, just something good to listen to halfway through the year, because at this point, it's a really good time to just kind of sit down, reevaluate your goals, reevaluate where you're at, do a little audit. What's working well? What's not working well? What can we adjust? Like, how do we need to like redirect course to be able to hit our goals? Like, what goals do we need to adjust? I don't know. Like, it's a good time to like sit down and get focused and get clear. One of the things, I can't remember who said this. Oh my gosh, it's gonna bug me. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can like see it in my head, but I can't remember who it was. But somebody at Lash Biz Babes conference said, blurry targets don't get hit. I think it was Chris Bible, who was on the podcast last year as well as a guest. Freaking love her. Blurry targets don't get hit. You have to get clear. You have to get focused. And this is a really good time to be doing that, especially if you are struggling, or especially if you just have really big goals that you want to hit this year. So let's talk about it. So first off, little life update. It's been a wild year. If you've had a hard year too, please know that you are not alone. But I think something that I'm learning from this is that your life does not have to be perfect to be able to grow your business. You can and you will have hard things that happen, but it's about how you wake up the next day and try again. Or better yet, it's about how you keep picking up the pieces and trying again, even if it's been a little while. Because even if it's been hard, even if you took a break, even if things aren't going well, even if whatever the situation is, you can always pick up again and try again tomorrow. Tomorrow, like my favorite motto of my entire life, really, this is something I've thought about, is just tomorrow is a new day. It's a fresh start. We can wipe this slate clean and we can try again. We can start again. And I think that's always true, and it's really just about how you are taking that action, because the action you take is never going to be perfect. You're never going to know everything. You're never going to know exactly what you're doing. You're never going to feel like you're ready. It's just not going to happen. At least in my experience, that's what I've been learning, especially this year. And it's just waking up, trying again, taking that action, taking the baby steps to get you to where you want to be. And even if your life isn't perfect, even if things are hard, even if shit sucks real bad, which is how I felt this year, you can still grow. You can still run your business. You can still be successful and serve your clients and show up and live a beautiful life and enjoy the world around you. Even when it's hard, it's still going to be hard, but that's still going to be there. But you can still be successful and keep trying again, day in and day out. So that's something that I've learned this year. I wanted to share that. I was talking about that on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and I think a lot of people really resonated with it. It's just like your perfectionism, like you got to drop the perfectionism and just show up and take action. So with that, a few, like, yeah, if you've been having a hard year, just know you're not alone. Like, some of the things that we've been going through, like, I mean, I think I shared some of these things earlier in the year, just some of the stuff that happened early on. But, December, I watched my husband and my daughter get T-boned in a car accident right in front of me. I was driving right behind them. We've been dealing with, like, luckily nobody was hurt, but we dealt with insurance and things for the first few months of the year. That was really difficult. Just crazy kids' school schedules. My husband and I, between the two of us, we've lost three grandparents and my uncle so far this year. I won't say so far. I don't want to lose anybody else, but like we've lost like four family members in the last like 6-7 months since December, and it's been so hard. Um, oh my gosh, I've just really struggled with that. It's just one of those things you just pray that that day won't ever come, and then it does. And anyway, it's been hard. My grandma that just recently passed away, um, let's see, less than a month ago, um, was my favorite person in the world, and she just spoke so much life into me and just poured so much love into me, and it's just like, how do you even keep navigating a world without that, you know? I don't know the answer to that question quite yet, because I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I really, really miss her already. But you know what she told me before she passed? I was telling her about some exciting things that are happening this year, and she's just like, Erica, you are going to fly. So I just keep trying to remind myself of that. That's what she's telling me. Like, you're gonna fly, you're gonna do this, you're gonna keep going, and you're gonna live a good life. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to keep moving forward and give myself some grace. So yeah, that's some of the things that I've been dealing with. So again, I just want to say thank you for being patient with me with the episodes for this year. Um, there's been other things that have been going on. I don't feel like I need to share everything, but just a few of the things at the forefront of stuff, or just I feel like I owe a little bit of an explanation on the lower amount of episodes so far for the year. So I appreciate you sticking with me. Thank you so much for that. Um, and with that, we've been really massively growing the social media management agency, which I opened end of September last year, beginning of October last year.
we've been growing so quickly. It's been a whirlwind in a good way. But yeah, I mean, as with any business, there's highs, there's lows, there's positives, there's negatives, there's it's been a learning curve. I'm having, you learn from it, you adjust, you keep growing. So that's been like a huge focus, obviously. So, just dealing with life and quickly growing a new business. It's been very, I don't know, a lot going on, obviously. But with that, I do have like a few exciting things that are happening as well. So I will be at a few events coming up, and I wanted to share about them in case you might be in the area. Maybe you want to make a trip, come hang out. It would be really fun to get to meet you. So, next month, I will be at Elite Lash Convention in Dallas, Texas on July 21st. So, this is a 1 day event for lash artists. I mean, really, even if you aren't a lash artist, if you're in the beauty industry, you'll probably be able to get a lot from it because it's not just specifically on lashing, it's like business and marketing and inspiration and like networking, mentorship, that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's a little bit broad. So, with that, it's a 1 day event. There's going to be multiple different speakers. There's going to be lunch. You're going to get a swag bag. There's going to be like a DJ. What else? Oh, there's vendors too. There's going to be a handful of vendors there. So, I think it's going to be a really good time. I'm really excited for this. To go check out Dallas for the weekend and just be able to just be in the energy of it all and yeah, get to speak with you and help you out. So I'm going to be talking about creating balance in your lash sets and in your life, and I'm really excited for this topic. You guys know that I absolutely love I don't know, just life is such a big part of our businesses, and I love being able to just help you create the life that you love too, and sharing insights on how I've done that and, working together on that. I think it's so important. It goes hand in hand with growing a business, and it's, I mean, in my opinion, kind of why we get into this anyway, right? We want to live our dream life. We have these big goals, we have these big aspirations, we have a certain way that we want to live our life, and I think that your business is a vehicle that can get you there. And it's important to prioritize, having that balance. So that's what I'm going to be speaking on. I'm really excited for this. Tickets are, well, as of recording this, they're $100. I think they go up in price on June 15th to $130. But for everything you get, that's like honestly really a good price. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, Dallas, Texas, July 21st. I'll put the link for it in the show notes if you're interested in coming. Would love to see you there. And if you are going to come, DM me too so that I know and we can meet up. And then I probably won't be able to make it to International Lash Expo in person. That one is in Miami, Florida, September 15th and 16th. I'm not going to be able to make it in person, I don't think. We've got a lot going on. We're going to be closing on our house and school schedules and other trips and other like prior commitments. So I'm not sure I'll make it in person. I'm going to really try hard, but I don't know 100%. So that is in September. I am sponsoring it though. Lash Biz Babes is a sponsor of International Lash Expo in Miami, Florida this September. We're sponsoring the photo booth, which I'm way pumped for. It's going to look really good. So if you're going to the event, make sure to hit up the photo booth. And if you're not going to the event, or not going to the event yet, tickets are on sale for that. So you can use code LashBizBabes to get 10% off your ticket at checkout. That one's going to be super fun. I love Crystal. I've talked to her several times on Instagram. She's just like a genuinely good human being. So I'm really excited for her to have a second event this year on the other side of the country. So, where else will I be? I am going to LashCon. I'm just attending the event as an attendee. Um, So I am really excited to attend LashCon. If you're going to be there, definitely message me on Instagram and let me know so we can meet up. I want to do another Lash Biz Babes meetup. Last year we went to brunch on Saturday morning. There was like 20 or 30 of us that got together. It was so much freaking fun. I absolutely loved it. I want to do it again. So I don't have details on that yet. If you are interested in meeting up and going together, let me know. Send me a message on Instagram at XOEricaShram, and I'll put you on my list to get in touch with and send you details when I have those like solidified. So I'll keep you posted on that. But I will be at LashCon. I'm really excited just to attend and get to network and see everyone. That's my favorite part about going for sure. So that's in October in Anaheim, California. I don't know the dates exactly off the top of my head. I think it's like the weekend of the 11th of October or something like that, like the second weekend of October. So I'll be there, and then I will be at Nails and Lash Expo in Fort Lauderdale, Florida in April, and I'm actually going to be teaching a class and speaking at this event. I'm so excited for this. We're going to be talking about growing your local following, growing your local presence online, and just really being able to attract like local followers who are potential clients to your page and network, and all those things. I love talking about this. I have an entire course on it. I'm going to be teaching it at the expo. So I'm excited to go to Florida. I've never been to Florida before. I'm freaking pumped. I want to take my husband. I want to take my kids. We're going to have a good time. So I'm really excited for that. So you guys can check them out as well. Nails and Lash Expo, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So those are a few of the things that I'm going to be at this year. And one of the events that I will be sponsoring. I don't go to a lot of events personally just because of the season of life that I'm in with kids. So it's kind of like, yeah, the few things I'll be at upcoming. So yeah, let's see, life update, the events I'll be at. So let's go ahead and just jump into our episode. So I wanted, like I said, to talk about some of the things that we're seeing that are working really well, because we create like upwards, like I said, of like 100 posts more or less per week for social media. We get a lot of data back from that of just what's working well, what's not working well. So I wanted to share just some of the insights from that to hopefully be able to um, help you figure out your groove with social media. So first one is lifestyle type of content. Now, this doesn't, what was I going to say? It doesn't have to be, I don't want to phrase this. So lifestyle type of content. I feel like this, when I say that, it feels kind of overwhelming for people because they're like, I just don't know where to start with that. I don't want to put my whole life online. And it doesn't have to be that way. This can just be simply like voiceovers, pictures of yourself, talking in your stories, like time lapses, like, I don't know. You could do live videos if you wanted to. That's really up to you. But just anything where you can like infuse yourself into your content, it's going to do well and perform better. I don't know. I was about to say, I don't know why, but no, I do know why. It's because us as human beings are hardwired for connection. They've literally done studies on this, that connection with other human beings is a vital part of our survival as humans. Like, we thrive on connection. We love it. Even if we're like introverts, we love being connected to other people. And when you're able to create these connections online by infusing yourself into your content in some way, shape, or form, you're going to be able to stand out in your area. You're going to be able to have people want to come to you over other people because you've made that connection with them, whether that's online or whether that's in person. If you can have a connection with a potential client, they are much more likely to book with you. Okay. And also, it really helps with engagement. Posts that have you in them, the engagement just always does better. Every single time for all of our clients, when it's a post with a picture of one of them or their staff members or their employees or their booth renters, whatever it always does better if there's a human being where you can like see their face or like hear their voice or like have that human connection in it. So that type of content just is doing really well. Lifestyle type of content. This can be behind the scenes, a day in their life, like voiceovers of here's how we styled this client, here's why we picked what we did, here's what she wanted, so here's what we decided to do. I don't know, I think we kind of overthink this sometimes. It doesn't have to be like super in-depth things. It can just be light and fun, be entertaining, whatever that might be. So lifestyle is doing real well. Educational reels, So well, it doesn't necessarily have to be reels, but a lot of like educational posts, I feel like this really has helped our clients to position themselves as an authority on what they do. Now, everyone always says, like, okay, educational content, yeah, like, of course, we want to educate our clients, but you really have to think about it from the potential client's perspective, okay? Who are you trying to attract? If you're a service provider and you want to book more clients, think about a person who doesn't, if you do lash extensions, think about a person who knows nothing about lash extensions, okay? How can you be writing your captions to make everything super understandable to them? Because if you can help them understand things in a way that's just easy for them to understand, like I don't know how else to explain this other than saying like, like explain it in English, please, right? Like you're asking them to make it just very simplest terms, okay? If you can help them understand it in very simple terms in a very easy way, they're going to trust you more with that. You're going to be the expert in their head, okay? So, educational posts. And I don't mean this in like 3 tips and tricks. No one wants to see these simple tips and tricks that you can find on Google, okay? What they want is for you to just explain it in a way where it makes sense to them. Because a lot of times they don't even know like what's volume lashes, what's classic lashes. So how can you break even just those things down to something that they understand? Because all they know when it comes to lash extensions is the end look that they want, right? They know I want a natural look, I want a really full look, I want textured wispy, I want, but they don't always know like, okay, which set is going to get me there. So you have to make that understandable to them. And if you can make posts about that, educate them. How do you wash your lashes? Why do you need to wash your lashes? How can I make the most of this? What are some myths about lash extensions? What are some reasons that maybe they wouldn't want to get them? How can we debunk that? How can we address common misconceptions? How can we address like reasons why they might be hesitant to get the service done, right? Those are great educational posts. And even if I feel like the engagement on these doesn't always do as well as other posts where like your face is in it, you are making those connections. But the actual conversions as far as like click-throughs to their page, click-throughs to their websites are really good on these posts typically. So, but you can also kind of combine the two. You can do like a reel educational reel of you explaining it and just like talking to the camera. And I feel like that's something that's very easy to talk about. So, I don't know, there's different ways that you can do this, but educational things are doing really well. Explain the look. That's what I was just saying. Like, we've been doing a lot of posts helping people just explain what is the end look going to be for this, right? Like they know, okay, I want natural. What's going to get me there? Classic lashes. What's a wet set? Like there's so many different sets types like wet looks, angel looks or angel sets, fairy lashes, mega volume, mega what was classic mega classic. I don't know. There's so many different like hybrid mix like so many different lash set names now, right? Help them understand what your lash set names are. What look is that going to get them? What's the end result going to be? That's going to help you be able to understand that better. If you're in skincare, they don't necessarily know what the service is. Like I have one of my clients, she does like jet plasma and like hydrofacials, or I think she does hydrofacials or something. It's a little bit different. Um, but like she does all these, micro needling, they do all these services. Clients don't necessarily know what those services do. They just know, okay, I want smoother skin. I want to help with fine lines and wrinkles. I want help with my acne. What's going to get me there, right? So you kind of really have to think about what does the client want? How can I explain that this is the solution that's going to get them there, right? And really, this is just like understanding your audience and understanding what they want, what they need, and just making it really simple and understandable for them, and also like offering what they want. I think a good example of this is like right now, I was reading an article about this recently where Walmart is actually changing the way of like the layout of their stores and their products and their marketing to try and kind of attract a different demographic than normal, like more like a target type of demographic. And so they're trying to like up the experience, right? And they're also looking at, okay, what do people want and how can we putting that in our stores, right? How can we be offering those things that people want so that they'll come shop with us, right? If you see in your area, like, you can kind of do market research. What styles are you guys wanting? Like, you can, even without asking people what styles they want, you can literally go in these groups and see what questions are being asked, what styles are being requested. Like, okay, cat eyes, natural lashes, mega lashes, whatever it is. Like, what are people in your area asking about in like Facebook groups? You can also take like the frequently asked questions that people are asking in your Facebook groups online that you see like in your local area, make posts about those things. If you see someone asking a question of like, okay, how do you wash your lashes? How do you take care of your lashes? When you see people asking like, I don't know, something about different styles, or like retention questions, or any type of like frequently asked question that you see, you can make an educational post about that. And then what you can turn around and do, and this is one of my like top strategies, honestly, I use this for a lot of things. I actually can't believe I'm gonna like share this. Okay, no, actually, I do believe it. It's a good strategy. But you take these questions that you see being asked a lot, right? You make an educational post about them, okay, just on your social media pages. And then what you're going to do is anytime you see that question being asked, you're going to give them, okay, hey, here's a little bit of the answer, right? This is whatever it is about retention. This is whatever it is about that style, right? I actually have a post about this on Instagram. Here's where you can read more about it. And then you link that specific post on your reply comment, right? So in that way, you're giving them the answer that they want. You're giving them like a little piece of the pie, right? And then you're like, okay, here's where you can find more. Here's where you can find the rest of the pie. Like, come over here and get some more, right? So then they go to your social media page, they read the post, they can like it, they can interact with it, they can follow you online. You can get local followers that way. This is such a good strategy to be utilizing. And you can use this in any type of business, by the way. It's just a simple matter of kind of market research. What's being asked? How am I talking about that on my page? I also use this for some of our clients where, like, oh, okay, I'm in my 40s and my skincare, blah blah blah. Like, who can help me with this? I don't know what products to use, and then I'll literally create content for them about, okay, skincare for people in their 40s, right? So then, like, if they go look at her page, they see a post that's literally addressing what they're asking, right? Or I saw someone who was talking about, oh, who offers travel size um skincare products. So then with our skincare line that we do content for, literally put a post up that same day of talking about, oh, did you know we offer travel size? Here's more information about it. Here's how great it is. Here's what you can use it for. And then people were like referring, is that the right word? They were like tagging the skincare line in this post, and then we had a post up that same day about travel size skincare, and it was exactly what they're looking for, right? So it's not a matter of overthinking. It's just a matter of like, what are people asking for? And this doesn't even have to just be in Facebook groups. Like, what questions are people asking about your services? How are you talking about that online? How are you being the expert in their mind? The more you can position yourself as the expert, the more that the people are going to want to come to you. They're going to think of you first, whether that's services for themselves or their family members or friends referring people to you. You can use these strategies in a way to where people that you don't know, you've never met in your life, are referring people to you because they see you as an expert on what you do. I've seen this happen time and time and time again in Facebook groups online. They've never met the person, they've never gone to them themselves, but they will refer them if someone's looking for eyelash extensions or looking for makeup to be done or hair to be done or whatever it is, because they've made that connection with them online. They've positioned themselves as an authority and an expert on what they do. Simple as that. And I say simple as that like it's so easy to do. There's strategies behind it, but like that is a possibility for you, okay? So, explaining the look, I have a little note list that I made here. Oh, I already talked about this. What do people want? I just went on a whole tangent about that. That was my next thing. I got ahead of myself there. So, really focusing on your messaging, right? Everyone worries so much about the aesthetic. Yes, your aesthetic matters. Yes, your visual branding matters. I'm not saying it doesn't. What I am saying is stop focusing so much on what your logo looks like, on what colors you're using, on what, like, everything else. Because if you don't have your messaging down, none of that's going to matter. You could have a pretty page, and that's great. But how are people going to know you're the one for them? How are you going to stand out to them if you don't have some kind of like solid messaging? Like, focus a little more on your captions right now, okay? I think that's going to make a big difference for a lot of people, especially if you're struggling, you're feeling like the economy's helping, like taking a hit, whatever it is. That's okay. That I feel like a lot of people are going through that right now. So what I want you to do is really buckle down on your messaging for your business. What are your strengths? What are people looking for? What are you really good at? What do people want? What else? What do you want to be known for, right? How is this going to make their day-to-day life better? How are you talking about these things in your content? What's really good about your client experience? What do people really love about coming to you? How are you talking about that in your content? Because if you want to book clients on social media, you have to let them know these things, right? They have to know things about your business to want to come to you because you can have a really good client experience. You could be the best lash artist in your area. You can have the best retention in your freaking area. But if people don't know that, if you're not talking about that, if you're not showing that social proof on your social media, they will not know that about you when they look at your pages, okay? You have to be showing them. You have to be talking about this. And I know for a lot of people, this can be uncomfortable, especially when you first start doing it, right? It doesn't have to come off as like braggy when you're like, yeah, I have really good retention, but you're showing them, you're educating them. Hey, this is what my client's 3-week retention looks like. How amazing is this that her lashes look this good this far out from her last appointment, right? 4-week retention, 5-week retention. This is incredible. People want to know, right? They want long-lasting lashes, okay? It's not bragging, it's just literally showing the results that they can get. That's what they're looking for, especially people who have the disposable income to keep up on services. They value more than just the price, okay? They're not just looking for the cheapest lash artist out there. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. I know people are falling on a budget. I get it. However, if you want clients who stick around with you, which if you want like a sustainable business, you need people that can stick around with you. You need people who have the disposable income to keep up with services, right? Because like loyal clients, people who come back in again and again, they are the people who pay our bills, okay? That repeat, consistent, reliable, steady month to month income, recurring income relies on you having loyal clients. That's the bread and butter of our businesses. You have to keep getting new clients in the door time and time and time again, month and month and month again. That is going to be really hard. That will get you burnt out. That will be not sustainable, okay? Repeat clients, loyal clients. You want them, you love them, you need them, okay? They care about things like this. They're looking for someone who gives them a good experience. They're looking for someone who makes it easy to book. They're looking for someone who has like a good location. They're looking for someone who gives a good experience, who has good retention. So how can you be talking about those things in your content so that they know that you offer it, so that they know, okay, if they're looking at 3 different lash artists in your area, right? If you're not talking about those things, you're basically only giving them your prices to decide whether or not they're going to book with you off of. So you're basically getting yourself price shopped before you even get a chance with them, right? So if you can get these things on your website, in your captions, in your social media, whatever it is, bring it up in conversation. I don't care if it's in-person marketing. How are you bringing up these selling points, okay? How are you bringing up these points of what's really great about your business? What's really good? What do you want to be known for? What are you really good at? What are your strengths? What are the good things about your client experience, right? So if they're comparing 3 different lash businesses, right? Which one do you think they're going to want to go to? If they are balling on a budget, they're probably going to go to whoever's the cheapest, right? If there's someone who has a little more disposable income, they are able to keep up with that expense. They want to maybe find someone who does a really good job. They want to find someone who has good retention, and they're going to be willing to pay more to get that in return. Like, I know, like, okay, if I want someone really good to do my hair that's not going to damage it, that's going to help me take care of it, that's probably going to cost me a little bit more, right? And I'm going to be willing to pay that extra because I know I'm going to get that in return, right? Clients who value the quality and the experience are willing to pay the extra for that in return. So first off, if your business doesn't offer good quality, a good experience, like if you don't have those things in place, focus on that. That's going to help you grow your business. That's going to help you attract those types of clients because people do care about that, especially those higher paying clients, or not even just higher paying clients, but people who are willing to pay your prices, no questions asked, okay? They want those things in return. So how does your business offer that, and how are you talking about it in your content? Because you don't want to talk about those things in your content if you don't actually offer it, okay? Because then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like this is going to be so amazing. It's going to be such a great experience. It's going to have good retention. And then they're going to show up and be like, oh, what? This isn't what was advertised, right? No, we're not talking about false advertising here. Make sure it is actually a part of your experience. But just how are you talking about these things? If you can start bringing these things into your content, you're going to get better engagement. You're going to get better conversions. And I also just want to throw out there that your views, your likes, your follows, the numbers don't mean anything. They do mean things, but they don't mean things. But that should not be your focus. Post with a purpose, okay? Think about your audience. Think about who you want to attract. Post with a purpose. Because even if it doesn't get you the most engagement in your area, even if you're not getting the most followers ever, you're going to get better conversions of people clicking through to your page, clicking through to your website, messaging you, calling you, asking, clicking on the directions button, whatever it is. That's the numbers we care about. That's what we want to see, is those conversion numbers, because that's what's going to pay your bills. Likes don't pay the bills, honey. I hate to be the one to break that to you if you didn't know it, but likes don't pay the bills. So engagement, yes, that's great. We all want good engagement. We do. Let's just be honest. But it doesn't pay the bills. What does pay the bills is conversion. So post with a purpose. How is this post going to educate my ideal audience? How is this post going to entertain them? How is it going to inspire them to want to get my services done? How is this going to make them feel something? If you can make them feel something, it's going to make a big difference, okay? That's what I'm noticing too, that's working really well, is like if you can put a story behind it. If you can put like tiny tattoos. I've told a client this in the past before. You can tell the story behind why they got that tiny tattoo, with permission, of course. You don't want to put people's personal info online without their permission, right? You can tell a story behind it. Put some emotion in there. Make them feel something. Inspire them to get that service done. It's going to go a long way. Okay? So how does this educate them? How does this entertain them? How does this inspire them? How does this inform them? How does this help them? How does this serve them? What are they going to learn from this? Think about these things, because if your post doesn't do one of those things, if it's not going to benefit your clients, your potential clients in any way, probably isn't something to post. We don't need to just to post, right? Oh, I need to get a post up today. I'm just going to throw something up random, right? Or, I don't know. I feel like our ego can kind of get in the way. It can kind of, like, our content can kind of be self-serving sometimes. Always think about everything from the potential client's perspective, okay? Everything, especially when it comes to your content on social media. And I promise you, it's going to make a big difference. And like, you will see a difference in conversion rates of people clicking through, of people looking at your website, of people calling, texting, messaging, wanting to book with you, okay? So focus on your messaging, focus on local clients, local followers, okay? You don't need a million followers, you just need local people. That's a whole other rant and tangent I could go on. I'm going to be teaching about it at Nails and Lash Expo in Fort Lauderdale next April. Yeah, I'm just excited for that. But yeah, I think those are some of the things that are doing really well right now. I hope this is something that helps you and just gets you thinking about your content and what you're doing with it, what adjustments you can make with it. Yeah. Yep, I think that's all I have for tonight. Thank you so much for listening. If we aren't already friends on Instagram, definitely come follow me. I post more on there. So at XO Erica Shram, I'll put it in the link in the show notes. And if you guys haven't already, definitely subscribe. And if you can, leave a review for the podcast. That helps it, get out more and get found in searches more. So I would really appreciate if you could leave a little review. Yeah, do I have anything else? I don't think so. I just really appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much for listening. If this was helpful for you, make sure to share it with a friend. Share it on your Instagram stories. I'm actually going to be getting a podcast editor soon. That's my, honestly, just full transparency. That is the bane of my existence, is actually editing the episodes. It's just, recording it is one thing. Having to sit down and re-listen to it and edit it, it takes, I don't know. It's just not my favorite thing to do. So I'm going to get a podcast editor so that I can get more episodes out to you more regularly. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, thanks for being here. I very, very, very much appreciate you. And I will see you on the next episode.